Welcome to another conversation with Ashok Malik. Today we're going to discuss with Ashok the recent developments in terms of the relationship between JDU, Nitish Kumar's JDU and BJP, and of course yesterday a very interesting See Voters poll which shows, sort of throws up some numbers in terms of what if there was an election today almost a year in advance, and what would the results be. Ashok, to begin with the See Voters result, are you surprised or do you expected something like this?
Well, from what I understand, the See Voter polling was done between January and early March.
Yes.
So, in a situation where the BJP has no clear leader and the Congress is of course what it is, and in the absence of really the Narendra Modi factor. In that situation, the results don't surprise me. Okay. It's been clear for some time that the Congress and the UPA government are facing an anti-incumbency sentiment and probably facing unpopularity. And as a senior person in the Congress had told me, of the 206 seats which the Congress won the last time in 2009, the Congress could lose 80 to 100. And that's what somebody had told me a few months ago, and I think I mentioned that somewhere. And the See Voter poll shows the Congress at 113, which is roughly in that range. Essentially, the big gains it had made in the cities and urban areas, I expect it's going to lose out on. It's losing out badly in Andhra Pradesh. In UP, where it had gained a lot of seats, it gone up to 21 seats, and won the big cities and the small towns. It's lost ground there as well. The regional parties are more or less holding. If you look at, say, just as an example, the Biju Janata Dal, it's down to 13 seats from 14 the last time, which is not much of a difference. Without the NDA breaking, Nitish Kumar is more or less holding. Mulayam is not as strong in UP as he was in 2012 when his party swept the Vidhan Sabha election, but he's still getting 35 seats out of 80. I think two things need to be factored in. One, there is an anti-incumbency sentiment against the SP government in UP as well, which is only going to grow, I expect. So it's probably sharper today than it was in January. Okay. Second, there is the joker in the pack, the Modi factor, which the BJP expects will get its seats in, which the BJP expects will get its votes everywhere and seats in places like UP. To what degree that will help, how many seats that will add up to, we have no idea. But that is the joker in the pack. That is the factor X.
Yeah, so if tomorrow BJP does declare Narendra Modi as its PM candidate, would that bring the seats from Congress or would that bring it from the other regional parties?
You see, if Narendra Modi is indeed a national figure, which is untested for the moment, some people believe he is, some people in the BJP believe he is, but it's untested, let's be fair. Then he will bring, but if he is a national figure, he will bring an incremental vote all over. Now, obviously, this will translate into seats or greater seats in those areas where the BJP is already strong, already has a base. Okay. He could get the BJP extra votes in, let's say, Andhra Pradesh. Okay. But how many seats will that mean? Because the BJP is very weak there. It could mean 1 seat, 2 seats, 3 seats. In 98, the BJP, because of the Vajpayee factor, won 4 seats in Andhra. So, you know, on a miracle day, Modi may win 4 seats in Andhra, but on a bad day or a normal day, he may win 0. He just may get more votes there. But in places like Bihar, if there is a 3-way election in Bihar, if Nitish and the BJP split, and in UP, where the BJP has an existing base and there is a multi-cornered contest, then a small incremental vote could translate into a lot of seats. Okay. And that is where Modi will really be tested. But that is where the Modi appeal will be tested.
Coming to Bihar, do you think BJP and JDU will finally part ways?
Nitish heads a very delicately put together social coalition, which consists of Kurmis, which his community, non-Yadav, non-Kurmi OBCs, the lower, so-called lower OBCs who think they've been left out.
So you mean Mahadalit?
Yeah, the Mahadalits, the more established Dalits, with Lalu, so there is a section of Dalits which feels left out, which is with Nitish. The BJP brings in the upper caste, the Brahmins, the Bhumiyars to some degree, the Thakurs, and the urban voters, and some OBC votes. So it's a grand coalition. If this coalition cracks, the immediate beneficiary is Lalu Yadav, because he's got a strong Yadav vote, he's got a strong Muslim vote. Even if some of the Muslim vote stays with Nitish, the majority of the Muslim vote is with Lalu. And the Yadav-Muslim combination is a strong combination electorally. Maybe with Ramvilas Paswan coming in as a partner, or even without that, I expect Lalu to finish number 1 in the three-way contest. But what happens to the anti-Lalu vote? Because there is a strong hostility to Lalu also, caste-wise, urban-rural-wise, and various. And there are many people who don't like Lalu Raj, who thought of it as Angal Raj. Now, where will that anti-Lalu vote go? In assembly elections, it has gone to the JDU, BJP alliance with Nitish as the face. In a Lok Sabha contest, could some of it go to the BJP with Modi as the face?
If BJP and JDU does split, so is it going to be Modi versus Nitish in 2014?
You mean will all of Bihar vote for Nitish in the hope that he may become Prime Minister?
If they have voted for him in assembly.
Assembly elections is one thing, but if you've seen in recent times, parties, especially national parties, tend to do better in national elections than in state elections. If the BJP does put up Modi as its prime ministerial candidate, then that's a declared candidate or more or less declared candidate. Nitish can only become prime minister in a horribly fractured mandate. I think Nitish's first target would be to hold on to his social coalition for the assembly election in 2015. Because there's no point trying to become prime minister and lose your own state as well. Look what happened to Deve Gowda. He's neither here nor there. So I think Nitish is actually playing for 2015 more than 2014. He's playing for the state elections. It is a tight situation for him because if his social coalition cracks, he is in difficulty.
But I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you. I really, for our viewers, we want to understand, Nitish's this social coalition. You mentioned that majority of the Muslim votes are with Lalu, right? And some, to an extent, perhaps are supporting Nitish. Then why does Nitish take such? Suddenly he was a railway minister when the Godhra and then post Godhra happened. That time he had no problems with Modi. And there were other times when he was part of the ruling government in Delhi, he had no problems. Suddenly, why is he bringing up Godhra and why is he speaking on this issue of secular candidate?
Well, I think he's worried that if he loses even the little Muslim vote he has, it could cripple him in a close election. And he perhaps hopes that by opposing Modi, he will get the Muslim vote, all the remaining Muslim vote in his direction as well. That is his only hope. Because you see, if Modi and the BJP take the upper caste vote and the city vote and some OBC vote, if Lalu takes all the Muslim vote and the other vote, then Nitish is finished. So Nitish's only hope is that he gets a majority of the Muslim vote to add to his Kurmi vote, gets some OBC and Mahadalit vote and becomes a decisive, and becomes a strong factor. So the Muslim vote is critical for him in Bihar.
But tell me, 2009, Lalu had, I think, 1 seat in Lok Sabha. He lost one. He lost very badly. Yeah, very badly he lost it.
But his vote share is still there.
His vote share still exists.
Vote share still exists. So you don't go by such precedents. Because in a three-way contest, everything changes. That was a two-way contest.
But tell me, Congress, would Congress be interested in tying up? Because I was reading in newspaper reports again that how it's keeping, Lalu is very keen.
The Congress is not really a factor in Bihar. It's got such a low base.
Yeah, no, but I'm not talking about keeping Bihar, but to keep 2014 in mind, would it be interested in tying up with Nitish?
I'm sure it would, but I don't think Nitish or Lalu, or well, certainly Nitish would want a pre-election tie-up with Congress for two reasons. A, the Congress government is clearly unpopular, which has been seen in the Times Now See voter poll. That's one. Second, the Congress brings nothing to the table because it's got a very low vote share in Bihar. It's just not strong enough. So why tie up with a party that is facing anti-incumbency and doesn't have too many votes?
Coming to BJP now, what is stopping BJP from declaring Modi as its prime ministerial candidate?
Well, if you had an opinion poll or a poll among second-ranking BJP leaders, he'd win 100 to 1, whatever, 100 to 0. Within his peer group in Delhi, there are some people who oppose him. Largely the Advani group and the Advani camp, because Advani still thinks he has a chance. Very few people in the BJP think he has a chance. Even people who oppose Modi don't think Advani has the chance. But you can't stop someone dreaming. And Advani is dreaming. And there are some people whose careers are tied to Advani's. So they are also making a noise about it. But if you noticed Nitish's speech 2 or 3 days ago at the JDU national meeting, and his criticism of Modi was perhaps a bit too sharp for even the BJP, even the softliners in the BJP to swallow. So which is why the BJP reacted very strongly, much more strongly than it has previously to anti-Modi statements or criticism of Modi by an ally like Nitish. So this leads me to believe that standing up for or standing up behind Modi is now an unavoidable choice for the BJP.
If there is a break, do you think it will be BJP who would initiate it, especially keeping in mind the way it has stood behind Modi in the last few days?
It's difficult to say, but I think both sides are reconciled to a break. So it depends on who makes what provocative statement or what statement that or action that is perceived as provocative by the other side, and at what point. But I think a break, what political event will trigger that break, I don't know. But I think a break is on the cards.
Coming back to Modi's candidature, you spoke about Advani, and very interestingly, and I think yesterday Shakil Ahmed, BJP, the Congress leader from Bihar, taunted the BJP saying that, the secularism tag, he said, when Vajpayee and Advani was there, then Vajpayee was a secular leader and Advani was the communal leader. Now there is suddenly Advani, who so long has always been tagged as the face behind Babri Masjid, is now being tagged as the secular leader, and Narendra Modi has become the communal leader. So, I mean, this is it actually something that's coming from inside the BJP, or what is it? Is it a...
No, in the case of Mr. Advani, he has attempted a very clumsy image makeover since 2005. Since his visit to Pakistan. There's nothing wrong with visiting Pakistan or visiting Jinnah's mausoleum at all. But to go there and attempt an image makeover in the clumsy manner without taking into confidence the rest of your party did surprise a lot of people. And did cause, what you're doing. So Mrs. Thatcher didn't at the fag end of her life go to Marx's cemetery in Highgate and say, I love socialism. So people she would not have made new friends, and her old adherents would have looked at her and said, what are you doing after a lifetime of standing up to this? So what people look for in politicians, perhaps unrealistically, is conviction. Whatever you stand for. Nobody quite knows what he stands for. A few days ago, he spoke about being proud of the Ram movement and the Ayodhya struggle. I remember in 2005 in Pakistan, or just after Pakistan, he had said I just got tagged with the Ayodhya movement and I wasn't really as excited about it. Look back at the statements, and he gave an interview to, I think, Hindustan Times, where he said that. So now, which Advani do you believe? The Advani of 1990, the Advani of 96, the Advani of 2005, the Advani of 2013? There are several Advanis. So he's up for offer. Pick the Advani you want and just vote for me. Which has caused him to lose a lot of his credibility. He hasn't made new friends, and he's lost some old supporters.
Last two questions. If not Advani, if not Modi, is there another compromise candidate in BJP?
You see, the compromise candidate, I would imagine, is a post-election candidate. If Modi doesn't win enough seats, in terms of the face of the party for the election, whether he's a declared candidate or not, I don't think there's an alternative to Modi. Modi is the most popular BJP leader today.
But I mean, you're saying there is no alternative to Modi, but won't it make a difference? Yeah, for the BJP, of course. I'm saying, won't it make a difference if BJP declares a PM candidate?
It would, certainly, because
I mean, those extra 30-40 seats that you're saying from the current situation,
which could come. Yes, obviously, it's to the BJP's advantage to increase its own numbers by declaring a candidate, and by declaring the candidate its voters wanted to declare. Okay. Now, a third choice can only emerge if they play the Modi card and Modi doesn't emerge as successful as his supporters hope he will. Okay. In that situation, maybe a third name will come up, but that is too far away to speculate.
Okay. Okay.
So,
last question: Advani is attempting to be a Vajpayee, but can Narendra Modi be a Vajpayee in terms of bringing people under one common umbrella?
You know, it's very unfair to make these comparisons because Vajpayee was Vajpayee, Modi is Modi. They are not the same. Vajpayee brought to the table 50 years of national experience, but very little policy work. Okay. I mean, though he proved to be a very good Prime Minister, but you know, if you heard Vajpayee's speeches, he spoke eloquently and brilliantly, but he was never specific. There's no policy content in his speeches.
You remind me of Rahul Gandhi, but anyways,
No, don't be absurd. Vajpayee was 30 times better than Rahul.
Obviously,
he
but
was a great speaker, great lines, very evocative speaker. But he wasn't the details person. He was the big picture guy. Okay. Modi is more a details person, and that is probably because he spent 10 years as chief minister, not as whatever, a national leader or whatever, but as chief minister involved with the nuts and bolts of running a state. So his speeches are full of small examples, little details, more governance oriented. Now he brings that to the table. Okay. So the personalities are very different.
No,
they are different.
But my question was in terms of bringing allies on the table. That's been, whether can
Vajpayee brought allies before the election. Modi, if he brings allies, will only bring allies after the election on the strength of numbers if he wins them. Okay. So there are two different approaches. In government, should Modi become Prime Minister, how will he compare to Vajpayee? That's an issue for the future. We can't sort of judge that now.
Thanks a lot for talking to us.
But every one of our conversations seems to be about Narendra Modi.
No, but we did touch Nitish Kumar. You can't evade that. Let BJP declare him as a candidate or not a candidate, and then perhaps we can talk on maybe Advani or somebody else. Thanks for listening.